Carolina as 6th-ranked NC State faces off against number 15 Pitt here on Military Appreciation Night. Hello, everybody. We welcome you Matt Side here at Reynolds Coliseum. My name is Andrew Sanders. To my right, the two-time national champ, Nick Wisdowski. It's a big-time matchup. It's top 15, and it's a couple of squads that are unbeaten in ACC competition so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of parity on tonight's lineups. There's a Pittsburgh team that's very well capable of an upset here at the Old Barn, and an NC State team who's young, but nonetheless game for a competitive duel.
We've got 16 ranked wrestlers here tonight in the Intermat rankings and 7 ranked bouts. That's why you say this one could go either way.
Yeah, and if you look down the lineup, there's a lot of close in rankings. Pittsburgh's got an experienced team. They've had big upsets in the past. NC State's in their home gym. But again, you know, from what I know of wrestling, Pittsburgh's going to be ready to wrestle tonight.
They've won 5 straight duels, but NC State has won 5 straight against Pitt in the series. We'll start at 125 pounds when we come back here on the ACC Network Extra. Back here in Raleigh with Nick Wisdowski, I'm Andrew Sanders. We'll start at 125 pounds. Vince Robinson against Nick Babin, a ranked matchup, the first of 7 we expect tonight. But as we look at the lower weights, the first 5 matches, Nick, if NC State has an edge, at least on paper, it's here at the lower weights, and what we expect to be a very, very close duel.
Yeah, especially on the first 2 weights. NC State's really got to take advantage of at least their advantage on paper. Although the Pittsburgh 125-pounder graduate senior, Vince Robinson, redshirt freshman, Kyrie, returning All-American.
Good luck, guys. Shake hands.
It's gonna be an exciting match here as we get started here.
Good crowd on hand, and away we go here at 125 pounds. Vince Robinson, ranked 3rd in the country, is kind of taken 125 by storm. Just a redshirt freshman, so very youthful, but yeah, very exciting. Yeah,
this is my first time watching Vince in person, but everything I've seen on film, he's fast, he's got some finesse to him, he moves well. And Babin's a graduate senior, right? He's got to understand things. He's got a lot of matches under his belt. But Vince is moving in here well, behind the leg, looking to put in his left leg, and if he can't get that in, but he's got to lift up that knee, and he's probably going to drive him out or look to limp arm out with his left arm. Keep it in bounds. There's a lot of things that coaches are always harping on. Keeping him in bounds, taking advantage of the points. There we go.
First takedown goes to from Chicago. 15-1 on the year with 10 bonus point wins. He returned to the lineup at Oklahoma State, and all he did was defeat number 2 at the time, Troy Spratley. Yeah, that raises your eyebrows and gets your attention right away.
Yeah, Vince has had a great year. He's been moving
your hands
along,
forward, please.
And,
there you go. Stay set right
he's
there.
Gotten better from the start of the season to where he is now. You know, and especially if you take out of his redshirt year last year, really impressive.
Red 1,
Refs
red
count
2,
5 count here on Vince's
3.
Ankle ride, transitions well. We're gonna look to see Robinson stay behind the arms of Babin, keep his knee behind Babin's waist, and really keep forward pressure on Babin's hands. You keep a guy's hands on the mat, early mat return, always great, and keep moving on top. But Babin's continuously moving, which is always hard to keep wrestling on top of.
Babin, 4 years at Columbia. 1-0 in ACC competition so far this season.
1 green.
By forfeit, Stanford did not wrestle.
Neutral.
At 25. He gets the escape to make it 3-1.
You notice how Babin's keeping his hand on the mat, really keeping a low stance because he realizes Robinson can change directions, attack high, attack low. So you're trying to lower his center of gravity, keep wide stance. And he'll almost control things on Vince. You see how he's looking for wrist highs, looking to slow him down. Don't give him a lot of space. Don't give him freedom to move without you at least feeling him. And there he goes, right? Transitioned well off to a leg, but Babin's still on his wrist. Still on his wrist.
Control.
No takedown yet.
No control.
Oh, and we got trouble here. We got almost back points.
Babin just has to roll over and give up the takedown. So 2 takedowns in the first period for the redshirt freshman. NC State, one of just 2 ACC schools, including Virginia Tech, with 2 wrestlers ranked in the top 5. They lead off with Robinson, and you'll see the other Isaac Trumbull at heavyweight.
Yeah, with under 30 seconds here, I'd expect to see Robinson look to hold him on the mat and possibly start working for a turn. But Babin's an experienced mat wrestler. He's a savvy mat wrestler, good on top and also bottom.
Still red.
Robinson's got to work for a return here before he's called for stalling.
Yep.
Big lift.
And Babin shaken up after that mat return.
There, come on, come on.
Looks like he's all right, heading back to the center.
Green, you good?
Babin, an NCAA qualifier as a junior at Columbia. He went 2-2 in his one shot at NCAAs.
Red, cover.
Back in the lineup. He missed 5 weeks with appendicitis, so good to see him feeling good, feeling healthy.
Red
Yeah,
one.
he came back just in time for the tough part of the year in the ACC schedule.
Red 3.
Short time here, yeah. Babin again getting back to his feet. Fighting hands, staying in good position here.
So Robinson able to stay on top for the remaining 30 seconds. NC State wrestling, of course, led by Pat Papalizio in his 13th season. He has 6 straight ACC championships. You were part of laying the foundation. It's been incredible what he's done here in Raleigh.
Yeah, he's done a good job. I'm not going to give him more than he deserves, but he's done a good job, and he continues to do a good job. So, great coach, friend of mine, great leader. Really brought this program back to where it has been in the past and what it's capable of doing going into the future too.
Babin levels of good, maybe bordering on great, maybe.
He's good. Good. Let's keep it there.
All right, second period here. What are you looking for both wrestlers?
Babin's got to find a way to score, but Robinson's been very diverse in his movements. So Babin's probably, we're going to look to see a Babin trying to control things again, contact, staying on the wrist, not giving Robinson space to use his speed, to use his creativity for actions. But Babin's game, he's an experienced wrestler. Again, he's watched film on Robinson here. He's staying low, keeping his hands on the mat, making adjustments here. I doubt we see an attack out of Babin that exposes him too much to a re-attack, but we're probably going to look to see a counter at some point if Robinson does attack. Again, Babin on that wrist, really forcing Robinson to clear. But keeping hands on him, passing that elbow off good, making Robinson threaten. There he is in on a shot here. Robinson looking front headlock here. Babin controlling elbow here, so possibly sit through. But Robinson's in a good position here if he can start to set him back. But Babin recovers on the leg, driving up through, looking to crack him across and scoop that leg. But Robinson locked in the crouch. It's going to be a tough angle for Babin to scoop it. Here we are with short time too.
15 seconds left.
We're closer to a takedown here. If Babin can sit on that ankle and scoot that foot out, we might see something. But it looks like Robinson's got that arm locked around it. Short time.
Robinson able to close out the first couple periods well. Able to ride out the final 30 seconds and prevents Babin from scoring.
Yeah, that's got to give Babin some confidence in that position. If he gets back there again, he knows he can find his way to Robinson's leg if needed. But this is going to be good on the mat here, where Babin decides to go. If he looks to ride and turn and look for the fall, or maybe ride down that riding time under a minute and then cut him loose on his feet here.
What an exciting matchup to start our night off, and important, so important for both of these guys as they head towards postseason wrestling.
Yeah, you notice Robinson really balled up tight on bottom. This is a style NC State likes to use here. But Babin's going to look to extend him and get a leg in. Babin's got good length, long, wiry. And there he is. He's got his left leg in, his right leg, excuse me. And he's going to start to look to control Robinson's hips.
Started this period with just over 1:30 of ride time. That is evaporating here, and Babin has just gotten it under a minute.
Yeah, Babin's tough in this position. He's mean. He's going to probably work the entire period to look for a turn. Because as a bottom wrestler, you can start to panic. You can start to look at that scoreboard and go, okay, well, I'm up 5. Let me just stay on the mat for the next 1:15. But then you get hit with a stall warning. Things are going to start coming if we don't see some action from Robinson here. You see the ref looking for it too. Babin's got a leg in, working for a turn, and Robinson hasn't gotten his hands off the mat yet in a minute.
bottom man here.
Babin trying to work on top.
Bottom man, red.
Like you said, might like his chance.
Red,
There is the stall
stalling.
warning.
Yeah, his Robinson's keeping his head on the mat, keeping his hands on the mat, and Babin's actively looking to turn him. But if you just ball up and don't give openings, you're not advancing the wrestling either.
Robinson just takes a peek at the clock. He's 40 seconds.
Yep, he knows what he needs. He's going to hang out here, and Babin's looking for a cradle here. He looked like he had one locked up, and Robinson was able to break it. This is Babin's easy best position here. It's just he's down 5 points, and he needs a turn at this point. He needs a fall.
No improvement. Red stalling.
And a stall again. So a point awarded to Babin. But
He's one turn away, but I don't see how Robinson's not going to leave his knees in his head. So
Babin working for that turn. 5 seconds left.
definitely a match I'll be looking forward to see at ACC. I think Babin's a game wrestler. He understands his best position, and Robinson realizes if this guy gets on top of me, he's dangerous. Right? These are things wrestlers keep in mind as they compete next time. Right? Babin leaves with an edge. Yeah, he lost 6-2 on the scoreboard, but he dominated that third period. Robinson leaves with knowing he won the match. He won it on the feet. He's doing some flips for the fans. But again, he was written out for the third period.
Robinson pretty good on his feet as he shows you the acrobatics and a couple of early first period takedowns.
I'll be curious if Coach Pop is celebrating that one in the background like that too.
There's Coach Gavin to the left of the camera.
Yeah, that's Coach
Gavin. There he is in his 8th season. Going to catch up with him prior to this one. He's done a great job at Pitt, the 2021 co-ACC Coach of the Year. He tied for the ACC regular season title in 2023. Had a national champion that year as well, and Nino Bonacorsi, and brings again a red-hot squad in. 5 straight dual wins. They've gotten ranked wins already this year, and so this is one that they have circled. This is a chance for them to make some noise and, of course, stay unbeaten in ACC competition.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's had good teams. They're in a great location in Pennsylvania, maybe the best state in the country for wrestling. In a great city in Pittsburgh, and a university that's ACC's got prestige, and he's been doing a great job since his time at Pitt.
So we go to 133, where Kai O'Reaney, the redshirt senior, ranked 12th in the country, back in the lineup for NC State. Last time we saw him at Oklahoma State, a surprising pinfall, and was not wrestling against Virginia, a little banged up, so he gets back at it tonight against Tyler Chappell, a redshirt freshman, and going to work early on Chappell.
Kai's going to get the ball through here. Kai's going to wind up here, look to get a little momentum here. Probably we see it one more time. He might fake left and then take it right. He kept that 2-on-1, but Chappell was able to clear that. And this is one of the weight classes NC State heavily favored in. They need extra points. They need the bonus points. They need the major decision, the tech call. And Kai's the guy they're going to lean on to get it done with. And Kai's always had the ability for big moves. Pinfalls, tech falls, those are things that Kai's very familiar with.
Who can forget his pin of Pitt's Mickey Philippi back in 2023 in the ACC championship? He was most outstanding wrestler at that championship because of the pin. Went on to become an All-American, a 2-time All-American, a 3-time NCAA qualifier. And you mentioned he knows his job here isn't just to win by decision, it's to get bonus points.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach have told him in the back, you know, we need extra points here. He's collecting some back points here. And Kai's a great top wrestler too. So he knows what he needs to do in the top position, knows ways to get turns, and Chappell needs to definitely prevent another turn or find a way to get himself on the board.
Pitt's had some injuries, so Chappell maybe thrust into this position a little earlier than they would have expected.
Looking for another roll through tilt here. You got to be careful as the bottom wrestler, where guys get caught in a pinning position there. They get focused on fighting the lock, and then they put their shoulders on the mat. So as Chappell gets rolled to his back there, he's got to be aware of his back too, and not just the 2-on-1 hold Kai has on his arms.
I think the bottom man's doing enough, don't you?
Seen him start to turn him a couple of times, but just one swipe.
What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like there was definitely more than one swipe there, but I'm not wearing the stripes.
Chappell last time out wrestled against Bucknell, lost by 13-1 major decision to a ranked wrestler, number 30, Kurt Phipps.
Chappell's doing a good job finding his hands, but he's not taking that next step of getting his hands off the mat. Getting his hands, getting his knees off the mat. He's working, but he's not taking that next step to really try to escape. And here he is getting to his feet here as the period ends.
Arini in his 6th year talked to him before the start of this season. He said, look, when you're in your 6th year, you don't have to reinvent yourself. I'm just trying to sharpen some of the tools that I've picked up. And you got a first period takedown. We'll take another look at it. Take me through this here, Nick.
Yeah, Kai attacking that low ankle there, getting it off the mat and keeping his momentum running right through Chappell there. All things coaches preach. You get to the leg, you got to get it off the mat. You got to get the leg in the mat and keep your momentum going. Why stop your momentum? Get that leg in the air and run through it. Very good, right into his roll through tilt, which Kai's really great at, and he's loaded up on bottom, ready to fire up here. Moving right off the whistle, getting to his feet. Now he's going to look to see Chappell try to mat return him here. Kai's wrapping leg, posting on hips.
Still green.
Really forcing him here.
One red.
That's the escape.
Neutral.
And goes back to the aggression.
Yeah, that's something all coaches are big on. You escape, turn in, get back to the action, right? It's easiest to score points when points are being scored. Escape, takedown, back points. All those things go hand in hand with each other.
I say Arini wasn't going to reinvent himself, but he was planning on a bump up to 141 and did wrestle at 41 this year, but moving back down to 33 where he's had so much success over the course of his career.
That might have been a reinvention that he had pictured, and he looked in the mirror, it didn't go like how he pictured it. So Chappell's doing a great job of kind of extending this position. Almost getting out of bounds and trying to find a way to score that.
Living on the edge, you know, Arini able to keep that toe in and score the takedown.
6 years of experience, you should be able to do that.
Got 106, guys, 106.
A lot of experience for Kai.
Green, you're set. Red, cover.
Well, he is probably the most artistic on the team, right? He says he's always got an art project going on. And he was painting the line right there.
Yeah, look at his body. He's got his own artwork on him.
Yeah, he does his own tattoos. That's pretty cool.
Does his own tattoos. Talented guy.
If I had that level of artistry and creativity, I might do my own tattoos also. But
yeah, I don't know if
I don't.
would, but
most don't.
I respect the confidence in doing it. And here he is taking him back.
1, 2.
There's a couple of swipes.
Here. It looks like Chappell's got his leg, so Kai's got in a little bit of a challenging position where he might kind of unique position here, but Kai gets back on top and saves himself out of a little bit of risk.
Got the 3 swipes.
So right now he's looking at the major decision. He's up 10 points, and he's getting another set of back points here. Just pulled him back.
3, 4.
And that's 4. What'd you say? Points are scored when points are being scored?
Yep, back points to back points, right? Chappell's thinking about how not to get turned one way, and Kai takes him back the other way. So,
Green, your choice.
Pittsburgh.
Neutral.
Kai's experience here just, that says enough, right? Chappell's trying to get out of bounds, step over, prevent it. Kai keeping that leg in, knowing where he needed to be, and eventually scoring the takedown here. We're gonna look to see Kai keep his position and one clean attack to score this tech fall, where Chappell's a little bit back against the wall. He hasn't attacked all match, so being in this position, Kai knowing what he needs, a minute and a half to get it, more than likely going to score this takedown here on this go behind. They get a little funky, but Kai catches him on his back here and he rolls off. But Kai's not a guy I would get too funky with. He knows some odd positions. He's got feels in them, and he can end matches from that.
Arini threatened for maybe even a little more than a tech fall, but he finishes with a tech fall over Chappell. Welcome back to Kai Arini, back in the lineup. Yeah, one of the best faces in college wrestling.
He's a fun one to watch.
Well, he said on paper NC State had the advantage at the lower weights. Vince Robinson and Kai Arini combined for a couple of wins. Coming up, 141, it'll be Tyler Tracy against Anthony Santaniello. First couple of bouts tonight have gone to NC State. Vince Robinson with a decision. Kai O'Reilly with a tech fall. We'll move on to 141 pounds with Nick Wisdowski, Andrew Sanders with you in Raleigh. And it's a couple of young guys, redshirt freshmen, Anthony Santaniello and Tyler Tracy of NC State.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's going to look to get back on the board tonight. This is two unranked guys wrestling, so this is one that a bit of a toss-up on paper. Santaniello with a bit more experience, but Tracy, these last couple of matches I've seen him weather against. Here he is. Oh, okay.
Early takedown for Santaniello. Redshirt freshman from New Jersey, from Brick, New Jersey, 7-8 on the year.
Santaniello looking for a cradle on top here, really coming out with a lot of energy. And Tracy's one of those wrestlers I've noticed consistent throughout the entire time. So this effort you're seeing now out of Tracy is the same effort you're going to see in the last minute. And a lot of wrestlers, they usually start high and they kind of slow down. So I think Tracy needs to pick it up early, but he's definitely a consistent guy, and he's growing into his own as a young wrestler here at the state. Santaniello working on that shoulder there, looking to drive that off the mat eventually. But definitely a tough position for Tracy to work from. Santaniello has been already showing a couple different moves on top where he's dangerous and you know, eager to wrestle the position, coming out a lot of energy and attacking different holds here. Got a leg in. Once the top wrestler's leg gets in, that's a tough position to get out from that bottom.
Sure.
Right. There's obviously techniques to do it, but you're really controlling their hips, controlling their mobility, and threatening them. So it's not just a position where you can fire out of. You know, you got to be smart about the direction you move.
This is a Pitt program that is unbeaten on the road this year. They're 3-0, and after losing the first couple of bouts, this is exactly what they needed, is for Santaniello to come out fast. Yeah,
Santaniello came out great. Already went for a couple turns. Almost went 2 feet to back off the whistle. So he's definitely sharp out here, and he sees the team scoreboard. I'm sure coaches have told, like, hey, you need to exploit this. You know, you're a guy that we're looking to step in here and step up.
And he was a 2-time state champ in New Jersey, which you mentioned. Like, Pennsylvania might be the best. Jersey's up there.
Yeah, Jersey's good. Jersey's good. Out of Brick Memorial, he's, you know, definitely knows how to wrestle. I'm sure he's been doing it his entire life. Tracy here working to his feet here and looking for Santaniello to mat return him.
3-1.
Definitely doing his whole life. His dad, Vinny, was a great wrestler in New Jersey and now owns a youth wrestling club as Tracy gets the escape.
Yeah, nice escape out of Tracy. Again, consistency. That was the same effort from minute 1 to 38 seconds left in the first. And now we're back on our feet, 3-1 score. Santaniello's got 2.5 minutes of running time, but you're going to look and see Tracy keep the same pace, keep winning positions, and see where this first period ends. Maybe we'll see another score out of these guys. A lot of these state wrestlers wrestle from an underhook, and that goes for Tracy too. He likes getting to his underhook. It's one of his more comfortable positions where he's good at scoring. So we're going to see that over and over again, consistency throughout the night.
Short time, guys. Short.
We're going to get into that underhook, to that throw by. Low ankle position. Might see a late score here. Right on the buzzer.
And the takedown given in the final second.
Pitt coaches are calling for the brick, but they're just going to take the down position. Great timing. Again, great effort out of Tracy from the start to the end of the period, right? And staying on it.
Those late period scores, swing bouts.
They're important. You don't have time to recruit, get it back, right? Santaniello scored early, but Tracy was able to get it back out. Now we are first period down, and Tracy unanswered points.
Down to the last second.
Tracy's got to look to mat return early here. And he's keeping pressure on, and Santaniello's got to look to get his hands off the mat. He's pushing his butt back. And he's going to look to cut away.
One green.
He does even it back up at 4 apiece.
Remember that green scored first here.
That's so huge for Tracy, especially when you talk about how elite his gas tank is. You expect him to almost get better as this bout goes on.
Yeah, and it's a good tool of his for being a redshirt freshman. It's definitely a tool that favors him. Because you can always teach technique and understand and more experience, but encouraging wrestlers to consistency and wrestle hard throughout the match, that's something that's got to come within.
Guys, wrestle through it.
Again, Tracy just with his right arm in that underhook position. That's good offensively and defensively for him. That's not a position you want to hang out, spend a lot of time in. Santaniello switches it now, so he's got his underhook in. Good solid wrestling out of both these guys, staying in good position and encountering each other's hand fights well.
Santaniello coming off a loss, but fared pretty well against 17th ranked Dylan Chappell of Bucknell, who, by the way, is the brother of Tyler Chappell we just saw.
Yeah, I was going to say that name sounds familiar.
Yeah. You know, wrestling always runs well in the family. You get your brothers together
for sure.
Have some awards.
Guaranteed how it happens. Again, Tracy with that underhook in. We're going to keep seeing attacks out of it. Once he gets that underhook in, he's going to start moving a little bit more from it. We're going to see more attacks out of both these guys as the match progresses. Coach Popolizio heavily encouraging his guy here with his left underhook in. Keep pressuring, stand him up, and here he is back on that low ankle.
And again, can he finish late in the period again?
Going to see it again. It's about when he's ready to score.
Santaniello defends well.
He's got to pull that trigger a couple seconds early to get those points. But here's the example, right? So Tracy scored at the end of the first period. Now they're 4-4 going into the third period, but Tracy got the opportunity to score from bottom.
Green's got riding time right now.
Right, so Santaniello does have 2 minutes of riding time. So Tracy escapes 5-4. We're probably looking at a 5-5 match.
Tracy, the plan originally was to go 149, but again, O'Reilly bumping down makes him slide down to 141 here. Got a good one in the third period.
He's got a cradle locked up here. He's getting back points here as he brings Tracy to his back with that leg in. Again, leg in, dangerous position. Ref here looking for a fall. He's got his 4 back points sitting on him, but he's looking for a fall now. It's going to be a long time for Santaniello to keep his hands locked there. Yep.
But he gets the 4-point near fall.
Yeah, that's a big swing. So now he's up 9-4, locked in. And one more turn puts him in a major decision ballpark. So
he's got ride time locked up.
Tracy's going to need to look to get that leg out and either reverse or somehow reverse him to his back, because he's getting 5 points is going to be tough to do at this point in the match.
Keep working.
Good action from Santaniello, keeping that leg in, keeping Tracy's leg off the mat. A lot of pressure on Tracy's lower back, and finishing this period strong. But again, there's 40 seconds left. These guys have done a lot of action, so we can see something happen.
Tracy trying to build that base.
Santaniello doing a good job of riding on top and really working that clock down. Maybe not scoring, but making it not easy for Tracy to get points.
Neutral.
Fans trying to urge Tracy along here. Late clock. Down 3, but remember the ride time point going Santaniello's
Tracy
way.
with a pinch headlock locked up. This can get tight quick. That hold that Tracy just had locked. That can go from not feeling it to really a lot of tension on your neck. So Santaniello escapes this one. Great match throughout, though. Started early, scored in the first period, scored at the end. That usually directs you to a win.
That gave the Panthers exactly what they needed, and they put the team score to 8-3 as Santaniello settles things down here on the road, where again they have been so good this season.
Yeah, freshman coming into Reynolds Coliseum on a Friday night duel, ACC kickoff. That was an important one and not an easy match to win either.
Let's take a look at 149 pounds and another redshirt freshman for NC State. That's Coy Bisgins, who's 14-7 on the year, and Finn Solomon, who's also ranked. He's ranked number 21, and he spent a year here in Raleigh. He's an NC State transfer, so This is an intriguing matchup, not just because of the rankings and because it could go either way, but it's also Solomon in a familiar building.
Yeah, he spent a year here under the program. He's got friends on the team, I'm sure. But this is good, again, another toss-up match, another important match in this dual meet.
And for Bisgins coming in, this is an opportunity to wrestle against someone that was an NCAA qualifier.
Yeah, Solomon's a good wrestler, right? You see the number next to his name. He knows how to win matches.
Hey guys, here we go.
And Bizgin's is first year in the starting lineup too. So this is an important match for not just Solomon, but also Bizgin's getting this feel on this guy and putting himself in position for ACC ranking.
Solomon had a good experience here, but he's from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, right? He's right down the road, Franklin Regional High School. So he's a Western PA guy and transferred back closer to home and has had a lot of success with the Panthers. Finished third at ACCs last year.
Yeah, Bizgin's going to be looking to win the inside, probably get to his underhook here. But again, he's another guy consistent throughout the match. Nothing too crazy, but he's going to be consistent throughout the entire match.
Bizgin's got a win over 28th ranked Jack Joffrey of UVA last time out.
Yeah, and we're going to look to see points scored in this first period. I know 2 weeks ago, Coach Papalizio spoke about it on our call. I'm sure they're still working on it in the room, is breaking that ice early in the match, getting after points. We saw it in the first 3 matches. We're going to look to keep seeing that. I know Coy's definitely a guy where they want to see points early. Less standing around, more points on the board. Take advantage of it. Go after it. Put yourself in position to win the match. And here he is running that underhook. Looking to throw that by, but Solomon escapes.
Bizgin said he wanted to take some more risks this year, and sometimes he can be just a little too relaxed, and that the pace just has to pick up. That's been a big point of emphasis. Yeah,
taking risk is super important in winning wrestling matches. If you're not willing to take risk, you're going to have a hard time winning matches, right? You take the risk, you train your body so much. These are muscle memory reactions we see out of these guys a lot. So when you go back and film, you watch in your film, you're like, oh, that's what I did. No wonder why, because I've done it 1,000 times in practice, right? It's no surprise. But if you don't create action to let those trained reactions take over, then it's not gonna, it's worthless.
How do you balance it? You did a great job of this. How do you balance taking some risks but not being wild and making a mistake?
Yeah, I think I have an interest in risk, but at the same time I'm very conservative, right? You feel things when it's like, oh, I don't like this position, I'm gonna get out of it. And you get out of it. You know when to stop it. Okay. You know how to stop it. Like, okay, this is starting to feel weird. I'm gonna put the brakes on this. Some guys wrestling through that, and they're good in those crazy positions. Put people to the back. Arini's one of them, right? Me, I stop before you get to that point. If it's like 50-50, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I like to stay in that 75-25 range where I know if I'm engaging in it, I know how to score on this. It's not going to be a toss-up.
Off the fingers.
Bizgin's picked up some confidence over the summer.
Bizgin's good single leg here. He's going to look to control that knee and get to his feet, get his leg back there. Solomon's going to look to keep that whizzer heavy down, keep Bizgin's pulling him toward the mat here. Bizgin's going to look to trip, or he's got to get his left arm out somehow. There he is, left arm free. He's got to bring him back to the center of the mat. Back to the center of the mat, back to the center of the mat. You see coaches saying that all the time.
Doesn't have a lot of time to finish here.
Hits him to his butt, nice. Puts him right on his butt with short time left.
Another late score in the period for NC State. Bizgins ends the first. That's pretty textbook, right? You said he had to get out.
Great finish.
He did, and got him to the middle.
How he hooks that leg, gets Solomon off balance, sets him right on his butt. Great finish. Brought him back to the center of the mat. That was probably the best part about that. From a coaching aspect, you guys got in on the leg, got up to his feet, but then instead of trying to rush it and score on the line, where you're kind of in that gray area where the guy might kick out, you might step out, he brings him all the way back to the logo on the center of the mat and finishes the takedown. So important in today's wrestling, because you can score that takedown on the line and be out of bounds and not a chance to ride, or you take him down center of the mat and you got a tight waist and the guy's on his butt. So
big mat return from Solomon.
Great mat return right to a tight waist, looking to set up his ride out here on top, and he's working away. You never get mat returned and slammed down and you're that eager to get back up again, right? You take a second, you're like, okay, I gotta spend some time, and next time I get to my feet, I gotta be ready to escape rather than let him get his hands locked.
Solomon had a good bout with Jackson Arrington last year when these two programs matched up.
3-1.
Lost by a 4-2 decision to 4th-ranked Arrington.
Nice escape by Bizgins here, but they're still calling control on Solomon. Now they give it.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah, well, that's a position. If that's at the end of the period, no escape, right? There's two extra seconds there that Solomon got on the riding time. But that happens all the time at the end of the period, right? The bottom wrestler will think he escaped, but he wasn't out.
A matchup of NC State past and present.
See Biskins controlling that tricep elbow area on both sides. That's a type of tie that Coach Esposito definitely specializes in from his time at Oklahoma State. Really good teacher in that position and experience, and knows how to score in those. So you can see Zach's his mentorship already shown in these guys.
Late shot from Sullivan. And that'll bring it into the second period. With so many ranked bouts, so many of these matchups are coin flips. If you can lock up one here, each one can kind of turn the tide as we get a look at 149 where it's crowded.
Yeah, right. This is a weight class at the ACC. We're probably seeing 6 weights. All top 6 guys qualify, right? But at the same time, you need to progress yourself. And these guys in this, here's a 21-29 matchup. These next couple matchups are going to be big. 1, 5, and 7, right? So you put yourself in a position from going 2 nationals to being in that all-American conversation. You rattle off 1 or 2 wins in conference.
Yeah.
Stay in here.
You're in that mix. You're in that mix at the NCAAs.
Warning red.
Stall warning to Biskins.
Biskins got to look to move him, set him on his butt, but he's got to finish on this leg here. Ref's going to call him again if he doesn't score. Or Matt returns.
Just gives it up, and Solomon gets the escape.
Yeah, that's one of those positions where it's like you can hold on to it, get another stall call, and then maybe return them, but you gave up a point anyway.
Yeah.
Just cut them loose and look to score on the feet. Biskins got to keep wrestling though, because you know Solomon's going to come. A little over a minute left. You know Solomon's going to attack, but if you let him get in a groove, start getting to his ties, you're going to see a lot better attack out of Solomon. So Biskins in a position where he needs to keep moving. He can't shut down yet. He's got to do that. He's got to work his head, clear the ties, threaten, move his feet. He can't just think he's going to hold on and end the match, because Solomon's in a real solid position here, going upper body, looking to get his hands locked. And Biskins got to lower and not reverse it to a trip. Wow. Very nice, and we might see back points here, but no takedown yet. But he again, he cleared that position. Yeah, again, in on a single leg. We need to see a score out of Biskins here. He had a great position. Solomon's countering well, but Biskins he had a great position. He's got to build up on this. Definitely can't let Solomon win this here.
He's gone back and forth. Looked like Solomon was going to be able to get something done with the upper body, and he's still working hard late here.
He's almost out of this. Biskins is holding on by his shoe there. But again, elevating here, it might turn into him. A crazy ending here. Short time.
Biskins sees the time.
Wow, great match.
Well, both guys look like they had a shot to score some big points there at the end. It is Biskins with that first period takedown enough to secure the decision.
Yeah, too bad we didn't see all that action throughout the entire match, but when there was action, there was good action. So again, I think that's something Troy's continuing to work on, is creating more and more action, because when there's action going on, he's good. He knows how to wrestle, right? It's just breaking that ice and getting to the action. Don't be afraid of it. You train for it, embrace it, create it.
Santaniello able to break the ice for Pitt in this one, but Biskins wins a big matchup at 149. Up next, Ed Scott, Dylan Evans, another ranked bout when we return. This Sunday, 13th ranked North Carolina hosts Florida State at noon Eastern. ACC Network women's basketball. NBC takes on Wake Forest. We wrap up the day right here in Reynolds Coliseum. 20th ranked NC State hosting Virginia Tech in Raleigh at 6 o'clock.
Ed Scott here, always got big moves early. Be ready. Headlocks, throws, fireman carries. Ed's always scoring early. And usually they're feet to back. That's very common with Eddie.
Ed Scott, Pennsylvania guy, 3-time NCAA qualifier, twice an ACC champ, against Dylan Evans, who is a local kid from Pittsburgh, redshirt freshman, and has done a really nice job at this weight for the Panthers this season.
Yeah, he's been having a great year, 14-4 on the season, and ranked 25th in the country. So again, another interesting match. There's going to be action here. Evans is in a position where a win over a previous All-American and ACC champ and Ed Scott, that's a nice one for the resume.
Score, guys. Work the
so
score.
freshman getting a good taste of what more experienced fifth-year guy looks like.
And already got an ACC win, a ranked win.
Evans on this single leg here. Again, looking to get to his feet. Now we're going to look for movement out of Evans. Movement, get his head free. Probably going to see a big step to a trip, but Ed's doing a good job of fighting hands and stuffing Evans' head down. I'd always tell the guys that I coach, usually your body normally trajects in a direction your head is going. If your head is pointing toward the mat, more than likely you're going to head toward the mat.
That's where you're going.
If you get your head up, it's going to be tough to reposition you. You got to get your head up, drive up to your feet. Your feet are your strongest position. And on the defensive side of it, you see the defensive guys are always looking to stop the head, push the head away, cross face, disrupt the head in some manner.
Evans feeling confident after a win over 28th ranked Greek.
Again, there's Ed with that fireman's carry, looking feet to back here.
He gets the first takedown.
Yep. Ed's always been a notorious feet to back first period guy. Headlock, lat drops, fireman's carries. He likes to score points.
Known for the big move. He worked on developing even more attack. You would think, hey, a guy like Ed Scott, he's got plenty of attacks. He said, no, adding more attacks this year, just trying to improve a little bit each day.
Yeah, a little bit improvement every day and keep sharpening those 1 and 2 attacks. Because when you get into nationals against the best guys, those are the attacks you're going to be using. You're going to be using your 1 and 2 attack. Ed's riding hard on top, looking for a cross wrist and probably bring Evans over his hip for a tilt, but Evans is doing a good job cutting away, getting on his feet, and going out of bounds.
Good test for Dylan Evans against the ACC champ.
Evans here working on bottom the entire time, pushing back, getting his hands off the mat, cutting away here, fighting hands. You can tell the difference between a wrestler who's
neutral
trying to get up and one who's trying to look like they're getting up, right? If you're trying to get up, you're not afraid to get your hands off the mat, keep your hips into you, move. If you want to look like you're getting up, you kind of get 3/4 there, but you're not taking those hands off the mat. You're not putting yourself in a position to be lifted. You're trying to burn clock off. You're trying to look like you're getting up, but not actually, you don't actually want to get up.
Yeah.
You're willing to stay there. And that's what we saw a lot of those matches where guys are holding on to the win on bottom. I'm gonna pretend I'm getting up, but I actually don't want to get up. I'm safe down here.
Stay out of the fingers.
Horn sounds in the first period.
Green.
And here's Ed Scott going to work.
Narrowly missed out on this fireman's carries feet to back here. Repositions Evans, driving. Evans doesn't have a post, but was able to roll through and freed his arms to prevent giving up those back points.
Both these guys, 2-time Pennsylvania state champs in high school, coming in with a great pedigree.
Good work from Scott, just keeping forward pressure. But again, Evans is not rolling over here. He's consistently wrestling, consistently looking to get off the mat. Excuse me, not get off the mat, get his hands off the mat and get free here on bottom. He's still very much in this match, right? Ed's getting close to having a minute of riding time, but Evans has been in scoring positions as well.
Cover.
Good mat return by
Red, you're stalling.
here.
You keep bringing them out.
Stall warning on
Yeah,
on
here with
Ed.
the stall warning, and that kind of sounded like it surprised you. It certainly surprised Ed Scott.
Yeah, one wrestler to lift, you need pressure back.
Sounds like
bottom wrestler's running away. You're driving into him. We saw a lift out of Scott. It's a tough call for a ref, sure, and that's why we see Pat at the table. But at the same time, you got to realize, I just can't push you. You can run that direction too. If Evans wanted to stay in, he could plant his feet and push back hard. But he knows if he plants his feet and push back hard, Scott's going to pop his hips and lift. So it's a two-way street. You easily could have called that Evans running out of bounds too. But more times than not, the top man's the guy that's going to get punished for that, or punished, but called for stalling.
One green. Neutral.
We'll see, that warning could play a factor late in this bout.
Yeah, later in matches, it changes how guys wrestle, changes their willingness to take risk when they know they have that against them or in their defensive schemes they're running too.
It's a minute 9 of ride time right now for Ed Scott. You just joined us. Vince Robinson got off to a nice start for NC State with a decision over Nick Babin. Kai O'Reilly with a tech fall victory. And Anthony Santaniello got the lone win so far for Pitt before Coy Bisgins just won by decision over a ranked Finn Solomon.
Solid hand fighting out of both these wrestlers here. Evans looking for underhook. Ed's controlling that elbow well and wrestling in his front headlock position. And coaches are looking for calls on both sides of this, right? Evans' second time on the line here. Ed's backed up to the center multiple times.
Scott controlling center mat. Don't know if we'll see anything in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, Ed's been controlling. He hasn't pulled the trigger on many more attacks, but you could argue he's been in position for him. But again, it's tough to pull those shots off when your opponent's backpedaling a little bit, right? So he hasn't shot, but at the same time, Evans hasn't moved forward. So it's kind of tough to call on who's really stalling there. And Evans hasn't shot either.
Go ahead, Green.
Scott trying to get out here and saves his riding time there. Only 4 seconds to get out. So Evans in here on a shot, driving through, looking to get to his feet, but Scott's heavy on that chest lock and really pinching Evans' head here. Position Scott's pretty good at. Fans are getting fired up here in Reynolds.
Even Vince Robinson there on the side is getting fired up.
Yeah, that's right. 4-2. Set.
Evans is he's got to kind of pick up the pace this entire third period because he's going to need 2 scores to win this. This is kind of an interesting story here. How he's backed out of bounds multiple times in the first 2 periods, and now all of a sudden he's all gas forward. He's doing a good job in the hand fight, though. He's got to recover quick out of those shots, though.
Well, the pace is picked up here.
One more.
45 seconds left. Evans is going to need to get off one of his attacks soon, because more than likely there's going to be some scrambling, some time to finish, and you don't want to run out of clock.
Fingers.
He's going to need to do it with at least, well, to win the match, at least with 5 seconds left. But there's that second stall call on Scott.
That's where it plays a factor late.
Yeah, interesting call by the ref, because they're still in the center of the mat. Scott's been hand fighting. You've been seeing a lot of kind of half shots out of Evans. But I wouldn't say Scott's necessarily been stalling, but that's not my choice.
Evans still needs a score here late. And they'll go back to center with 10 seconds left. Now keep in mind that the ride point is still on Scott's side, so it's effectively a 2-point lead here.
Yeah, Scott's got to just not give up a takedown, and he should win this. He could give up a stall call.
Yeah, you're not worried about another one.
No, just don't give up a takedown.
It is a 5-3 decision for Ed Scott. And so NC State wins a pair of ranked matchups at 49 and 57. We thought could go either way. They both go the way of the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and you watch those matches, they could have gone either way, right? The ref got on those stall calls and changed the dynamic of the match a little bit, right? Whether they were warranted or not, they put Evans in a position where not just on the scoreboard, but momentum. And momentum in college matches is huge.
14-3, our team scored through 5 bouts. But remember, the strength of Pitt is in the upper weights, and that's what's coming up next. Kessler and Fields at 65, Singleton and Augustine when we come back. Help people affected by the California wildfires in 2025. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover. (14-3) our team score here at Reynolds Coliseum. A look down the road in Durham as NC State and Pitt doing battle here. Got the band rocking in a top 15 matchup. But down the road in Durham, it's Duke and Virginia Tech. This is on the ACC network. They're also at intermission. And how about this? Duke has already put up 9 points here, Quiz.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm a bit surprised by it, but there's a couple names in there that aren't familiar. But these Duke guys are wrestling tough. Good one to have at their home gym, right? I believe this one's at Duke.
Yeah. SP O'Donnell with the pinfall at 149. Looking ahead, we've got 5 in the books, 5 here to come. It is the upper weights. We started at 125 tonight in Raleigh, so a look at the upper weights, and there's numbers everywhere, right? Ranked matchups after ranked matchups.
Same story as the bottom 5 weight classes. Pitt might have a little bit more of an edge here, and I guess a handful of them, but they're close. You know, you've seen some rubber matches go both ways. A handful of these are flip a coin. Should be good action here. I'm looking forward to the second half. I'm sure Coach Gavin has a couple words for his team here.
This is where the upper weights, this is the lineup solidified. And where Pitt's had a ton of success. Again, they've won 5 straight duels coming into tonight.
Yeah, and keeping that momentum on the road is important, but NC State, the fans do a great job of filling this place up, energy coming through here, and great support for the home team. He really fields it on a single leg. Again, get to that feet, looking to climb that leg, and big trip for the takedown right to his breakdown and get into a ride here. Great work out of Fields, and Fields is another guy like Bizgins, like Coach Papalizio said 2 weeks ago, is getting points on the board early, right? We know Derek can wrestle. It's, are we going to see action out of you early, or are you going to stand around? You got to make that decision.
Got an at-large bid last year to qualify for the NCAAs for his first time.
It's a lot easier to win matches when you score first, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Out. Bring it down.
It changes things mentally for you, but also for your opponent.
Yeah.
Puts him on the back foot.
It puts him on the back foot, but you start to get in that habit. Okay, I scored. I know I can score on this guy.
Yeah.
I can get to it again. Those type of things. So it's a scoreboard advantage, but it's a big mental advantage. And so much of sports is
a little
mental.
early, Green.
It's a huge aspect of sports, but especially wrestling.
Kessler was a starter at 157 last year. He lost by major decision to Ed Scott last year when these two programs met, but he had a big December. Got a win over Sammy Sasso of Ohio State. It was ranked top 10. He's dangerous.
And here he is getting to his feet here. And
One green.
Hopefully we see another score out of one of these guys this period, right? Let's keep this
Neutral.
action going. Let's either, build that lead for Fields, or Kessler's got to look to threaten him, get on that leg early to keep his team in this match. This is a really important match for Pitt to win here to kind of stay within grasp of NC State here. Nice throw by here to that low ankle, and Fields scrambling out of it. Kind of a 50-50 position, and Fields won that. That was nice. Quick rotations.
That was like a tornado. Both guys just spinning around, and Fields comes out on top.
Yeah, that's one of those drills you spend time working in and kind of who can get around the fastest and look at gather the control and break down your opponent's position there, and you're going to win that. So nice hustle out of Fields there. But again, action. He knows what to do in action. You just need to get that action going, right? You're not standing around thinking something's just going to pop out of nowhere. You engage, you look for it, and you let your instincts take over.
Action, guys, action.
Fields here looking to control that lock and bring Kessler down. He does a good job of that. Save himself from a stall call and keep building up that riding time. Getting close to a minute and a half now. .25 seconds left in this first period, and Fields riding tough on top. once you build up a lot of riding time in that first period, kind of sets it to a point where unless your opponent really starts to rattle off a couple scores, more than likely you're not seeing Kessler going to ride him for a minute straight coming up, you know. He did a good job of cementing himself in this position on the scoreboard at least.
2 minutes of ride time for Derek Fields. 2 takedowns in the first.
Great finish here, getting the leg up, tripping the leg out, tight waist. Put Kessler flat on his belly. This stuff all teams practice all day long, right? Getting to the leg, getting that leg off the mat, big finish, right to your tight waist, putting them on their belly. You leave them on their knees and give them a chance to fire right up. You got to put them right to your belly every time.
That second takedown, right? That just looks chaotic. It's frenetic and in the moment there, but you practice that. What are your keys when you're practicing?
It's hustle. It's hustle.
It's hustle.
And more than likely, a lot of times those type of positions turn into the first guy who quits on it, the first guy who bails, the first guy who turns down, right? So you got to keep move. And one of the guys is going to more than likely turn down on it, feel like he's getting too far behind it, and give it up.
Derek, the second Fields brother to wrestle at NC State, older brother Matt, wrestling alum.
I think Matt's in the crowd tonight, actually.
It's a good crowd tonight.
Yeah.
This is a place where NC State has
Fields
been
in
so
deep on
tough.
this single leg, locked high, looking to, again, build that leg up, build position, control that knee. I think he's cutting across. Nice finish. I was going to say he's cutting across a little bit too early, but he's got long arms and started driving well on that. Nice work.
All right, we didn't think that it was going to be this type of matchup, right? But 3 takedowns. You mentioned the heavy ride time. With a minute left in the period, you starting to think cut too early?
I think that's what the coaches would like to see out of Derek. Again, running across, securing 2 legs, 3 points now.
How cognizant are you when there's a loud crowd, you're focused on your matchup? How cognizant are you of Coach Pop, the other coaches? How much of that do you hear?
They're loud. You hear them. I can attest that you hear them, right? You might not always agree with what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking, yes, win the match, but they want to see you get better. And in this type of position, yeah, Derek is successful against riding this guy. But, you know, what does Derek need to work on? Right? He needs to work on scoring attacks, getting on those legs. So it'll be interesting to see where we end the second period if Fields maybe rides a little bit more time or cuts him loose to score another takedown, or look to score another takedown, excuse me.
When you were coaching, your wrestlers always heard you?
Yes, but then I got to the point where I'd stop yelling because even if they heard you, they weren't listening. You know, so I'll save my voice on that. I know you hear me. You
say, fine, do it your way.
Yes.
I just won 2 natties. What do I know?
You know, you're in the match. I've been in that same position where coach is telling you one thing and you're like, dude, you're crazy. I got this thing in the bag. I'm riding him out to win. They're saying, no, let him up, score another takedown. You're like, what are you talking about? I'm good. But they want to see you improve and push yourself. So they're going to find ways to challenge you either in practice or in competition too. Yeah. You can get a lot better out here on a Friday night in competition.
Well, it's different, right? In front of this many people, it's different than all the hard work you put in the room.
It's different, and it matters, right? There's a record, there's a scorebook, there's a ref. Fields sagging heavy on this, looking for a tilt.
On green!
Frees himself out of this position with 11 seconds left. That's a tough time to give him the takedown.
Out.
Give him the escape, excuse me.
A good late escape from Kessler, trying to take some kind of momentum into the third period.
8 seconds, guys. 8. Set.
Going on neutral here. Kessler's going to need to score a couple takedowns here. Takedowns are either feet to back, but he's going to need 9 points here to win this match. And NC State's in a great position for bonus team points here. Right now they're looking at a major decision.
Right.
Again, be huge, bring him to 18-3, and Kessler's working here, but Fields in on that leg again. They'll drive through this a little bit. Another takedown.
Red, you got 3, Red.
You said looking for bonus points.
This is the best work I've seen out of Fields all year, given it's not a ranked opponent. But again,
neutral.
What was that, his 4th takedown, right? That's good work. That's good work out of a guy who's usually pretty reserved out there on the mat. Feet still moving well. His conditioning's in good shape. Both wrestlers, you know, continue active. You're not seeing either guy back up here.
Out. Action. Come. Stay in the center, guys.
Fields getting through his leg and controlling that elbow of Kessler here. Is going to drive him over. Nice work.
Fields continuing the team momentum that Bizgins and Scott provided.
And you're going to see these coaches, you know, you see the NCCA coaches coaching hard here. This is an important part of the match. Not just, you know, the score is probably locked up 11-3, but Derek's got to break through here and not back up, not retreat in this last 45 seconds. Stay in the fight, win the positions, get to another takedown. You can win safe here, or you can challenge yourself this last little bit and win the right way, right? Win what's going to project you forward to this next thing. And you see the coaches are showing heavy hands, win the inside, beat the head, all those type of things, rather than settle for whatever position you're given and backpedal.
You want full 7 minutes.
You want full 7 minutes, right? We saw 5 minutes out of Robinson, you know, and we probably saw 5.5 out of Fields here. He gets a takedown, and you think he wasn't close to a takedown all match. What changed?
Still green.
Right? Given Kessler's picking up the pace, but
still green.
You know, you got to be able to match that for the
Late
match.
takedown by Kessler, but it's a major decision.
Yeah, great work out of Fields. As a critic, I'll say great work out of Fields for 6.5 minutes. Right, you got to finish those entire matches, take that next step, but that's where the coaching staff is looking for him to go. That next step is a full 7 minutes against a guy who's going to, you know, try to win late. You got to put that full match together here. Another great one right here too coming up.
NC State has won 5 straight against Pitt and 9 of the last 10 since 2015. But the lone win for Pitt, it was in comeback fashion. They closed the last 4 bouts here in Raleigh. They're going to have to come up with something like that. This is the strength of their lineup, and this is their captain. This is their guy, Luca Augustine, against Matty Singleton. And this is, look, top 20. And one of the ones that we had circled coming into tonight.
Yeah, again, experienced wrestler versus a younger guy for State here. But again, story of the whole dual meet, parity, close match. On paper, close match. We'll see what we get here in action. But Augustine's got to step up for his team here to keep them in the race to win this dual meet.
Singleton in his redshirt sophomore year. Redshirted a year ago after being thrust into the spotlight as a freshman. He said redshirting was weird. He was dealing with a wrist injury, which is fully healthy now, but he was so used to wrestling all the time that taking that time off was different for him. And he gets Augustine here at 174, who is an academic superstar, 4.0 pre-med route for him, and just does everything the right way for Pitt. One of their leaders, even as a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, Singleton already threatened a couple of attacks, but Augustine, again, experienced wrestler here in the top 20. Been to nationals before, so.
Was Pitt's gold standard teammate of the year last year, as voted on by his teammates. But he hasn't beaten NC State. He lost to Alex Faison twice last couple of years. So he's looking to get a dub against a Wolfpack wrestler.
Wrestle there, guys. Wrestle
Singleton's
there.
got a great high single on to his right side where he kind of pressures, gives some pressure release, and kind of jabs in on his right side with his right leg. So we'll look to see that. And it looks like Augustine's pursuing underhook early.
Thank you.
Probably look to throw by, get to his legs, get to a single leg or high crotch from there. But Singleton's an experienced upper body wrestler, right? You'll see him in these ties, no problem. He's not going to flee these. He's going to engage in them and look to win them.
Yeah, high school, he's a runner-up at Fargo in both freestyle and Greco-Roman.
Yeah.
Junior world team member in Greco-Roman.
Yep, you're not going to see him stray away from those positions. He's familiar with them, so he's going to engage and look to win them, really.
Former top 10 overall recruit, #1 at his weight class. So really bright future for him, and a guy that we think can compete for a national championship.
Yeah, Augustine here in this front headlock is really looking to tuck his head in Singleton's armpit. He's got his left hand on his chin, that's going to create a lot of pressure on Singleton. He's looking to control that leg. Great work by Augustine there, getting to that leg and running through him here. Get to that body, but Singleton's not going down easy. He's keeping engaging here, where he's definitely giving some pressure to Augustine that threatens him. You know, you can be in a great position, but once you start to feel some pressure in a manner that can put you to your back, you think twice about it. You think, do I want to keep going here, or do I want to back off at it? And Augustine backed off for a split second, and it gave Singleton that moment to sneak his hips back and slide that lock up his back and free him from that position. So
when you know that you're going to get up against somebody of your caliber, the margins are razor thin.
Yeah.
How frustrating is that when you get in a position you think you can score and it goes by the wayside and you think, is the window closed?
Yeah, you definitely don't think the window's closed, but you realize when you get to those positions, I got to score those.
Yeah.
I got to score those. They're not going to be easy scores, but they're must scores. They're must scores. And that's a position where Augustine, in this match, he may not be there again. He may not be locked around Singleton's body again in a match, right? So you got to take advantage of those positions.
They say in the major league sometimes you only get maybe one pitch to hit in an at-bat, and if you miss it,
right?
We don't know. Augustine might get another pitch to hit. We'll see.
And you're looking at two guys that are similar on paper and results similar, so you're going to see a lot of parity. Points aren't going to be flying up. There's going to be a lot of positions where they match each other, and who's going to prevail when they get to a position that they can score from, who's going to put it on the board.
Green, your choice.
So the first period comes to a close with no score, and a look at the Intermount rankings at 174 pounds. And again, a really great weight in the ACC. And hey, the addition of Stanford Lorenzo Norman is right there at number 4. Nice addition to the league that has made the great competition even better.
Yeah, that's 174 weight class.
Easy.
Columbia's got 2 graduates in it, in the UNC wrestler and the Virginia Tech wrestler. Both Columbia wrestlers transferred into the ACC. Lennox Wolnack was an All-American last year at 174. Again, another stacked weight class in the ACC, where you might only have, I believe, what, 7 teams now in the conference, but you're looking at 5-6 qualifiers, right? So you got to show up to that conference sharp and ready to go.
First caution, Green.
You were what, 3-time ACC champ? That's right, 3-time.
3 opportunities.
How have you seen the league get better, the conference get better as the years have gone along?
It's day and night, but at the same time, we had good wrestlers probably in that top 3 range. You're looking at the qualifiers, and you know, maybe in my tenure from that 2014 to 2016 range, where it was 1, 2, and 3, maybe some of the deeper classes 4, right? Now you're seeing 1 through 4 kind of standard, 5 and 6, you know, more times than not, right? So they're wrestling all the way down, and spots are on the line at nationals. More likely, you're probably seeing 5 guys a weight class on average going to nationals from the ACC.
That's pretty good, right?
Great hustle here by Augustine getting out here. A great hustle by Singleton to stay behind him, but Augustine's really looking to get out here. He's really hustling hard, and Singleton's working hard, riding that foot, keeping his hips on the mat. But again, a lot of parity here. Singleton realizes he's on top. He needs this minute riding time. He can't give up the easy escape to win the match. We had a 0-0 first period, right? Singleton's looking, let me get the riding time, let me get out. That puts me in position. That's a 2-0 lead.
Red cover.
You know, looking to finish out the match. And so close matches, you can't give up any points, right? And
Red 1.
Points were hard to come by on the feet. They're going to be hard to come by on the mat, but you got to take advantage of the top position here. And that's what Singleton's doing. And Augustine is not giving it up easy, right? Consistently wrestling.
Green.
Escape too, right under a minute too.
Neutral.
51 seconds of ride time.
Good experience there. Consistently hustle, not taking that break after a restart, and scoring right before that that minute hits the clock. Great work by Singleton. Keep jabbing at that high single. That's a position I was pretty familiar with, but he's been doing a good job of stepping deep. He just needs to get those hands locked on that leg, right? He's going to keep looking for it. That's very low risk for him. And the match goes on. Your opponent's legs get a little bit slower, so got to stay on that throughout the entire match. But great opportunity for him to stay on that. Augustine again in that front headlock where he almost scored that first period, but Singleton looks like he's going to be properly defending, but you know, he is on the line too. I don't think he's stalling, but he's properly defending. It's just, you know, the geography on the mat.
18. Set.
How much do you feel that wearing down effect on the legs as it goes on? How much do you...
On your own legs? You don't know what
no, on your opponents. How much do you feel, hey, what I'm doing is starting to impact the way that he's wrestling?
Somewhat, but you hear it in their breathing.
Okay.
At some point in matches, you know, that grip isn't the same grip. There isn't that same meaningness behind every tie, every movement.
Chooses bottom.
You got to realize too, whatever you're feeling,
third period,
they're probably feeling it too. So
green.
if you're,
Green, we do
your
have a
legs
caution.
are burning, you're breathing heavy.
Stay set for me,
they're
guys.
probably
Both guys.
breathing heavy and legs are burning too. You know, if you're in shape and wrestling hard, it's going to be across the board. Guys are going to feel that. If you're in terrible shape and you're breathing heavy, then that's on you. You know, but these guys are both in shape. They're ready to go. They're in good programs. You can tell by the intensity. Even 1-0, there's been a lot of work out of both these guys. They both really want this win tonight. No one's rolling over tonight.
Let's get the knee off the back, Green.
Saw both guys get caught, just trying to get up early. Just try.
Not just win the position.
Gotta get
trying
out.
to win the whistle here.
Yeah.
You know, you got that caution to give. You might as well try to win that whistle a little bit. Sneak that as early as you can. Good escape by Singleton. Riding time basically doesn't matter here. We're going to see a takedown or we're going to see overtime. Again, nice throw by to that foot. Now, again, same position. Got to bring it back to the center of the mat. Got to bring it back. You see the coaches, Coach Gant running down that sideline. Bring him back.
And a hit with a stall warning, but they do go out of bounds.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're Augustine, you probably take that stall warning to avoid that.
Absolutely right. Singleton was just building position. Bringing him back to the center of the mat, that would have been a great setup for Singleton to score a takedown, but Augustine escaped one there. Great work on his part. Good shot by him, but Singleton again. Bring it. You see how Augustine shot. His hands were low. Singleton pulled those hands up above his hips, gets his hips back, and cleared the position. It went out of bounds, but that was good work. Kind of shows Singleton's freestyling Greco-Roman experience in those upper body positions to bring those lock up from his legs to around his hip and around his torso section to get his hips back and clear that.
Augustine decorated as well, U20 freestyle national champ in 2022.
Both these guys constantly looking for attacks. You see their feet moving, they're jabbing, they're looking for attacks, level change. Great shot here. Again, Augustine getting his legs back. Singleton's got to recover here. Augustine's had a solid front headlock throughout this entire match, and he's using it again. Stepping, get to that leg. Singleton's got to look to get that leg back and keep sagging over the top here. Put weight back. A little bit of a scramble here. Where we go? Wow, great work out of both those wrestlers here. Singleton starts to sway at his position, and Augustine was able to clear. Great work. We got 15 seconds left. Fans are on their feet here in Reynolds.
We had it circled coming into tonight. It hasn't disappointed.
Yes, two guys want to win. They want to win. No one was sandbagging the first half of the match and picked it up. They've been both trying to win from the first whistle.
Take a look at the scramble.
Great mat awareness by Augustine and Singleton at the same time. How it changed so quick. One guy's favored score than the other guy, and then they cleared. Great mat awareness on both their ends. Clock didn't start here. It looks like a couple seconds off.
Good. Okay, guys, here we go.
So we go OT first time tonight. 2 minutes, sudden victory period.
We got a stall call on Augustine, but I doubt this is going to play a factor. He's been pedaled down the whole time. Good shot. And clears up the body. We spent a lot of time in this over-under position where they've both been pummeling and looking for attacks. Good throw-by attempt for Singleton, looking to really shoot him out of bounds, but Augustine does a good job of circling his feet.
Looking for a takedown here in sudden victory. That 2 minutes is a long time when you've been going this hard for this first 7.
Yeah, and here's Augustine shooting him out of bounds. And
a stall warning.
Staller. Interesting.
So both guys a stall warning.
Yeah. Yeah, you normally don't see a ref throw a match-changing stall call in overtime. Again, Augustine has been shooting a lot, and you need to see a little bit more out of Singleton here as he looks to counter that. Singleton taking a deep breath, standing up a little bit. Augustine's been staying in his stance, moving forward. Bringing Singleton to the line again. Another shot, running his feet, but Singleton does a great job squaring up, moving his feet, sprawling his legs back. 40 seconds left. This is going to be a tough position, just where they are on the mat, right? Singleton's in a solid position over top of the sprawl, but you're on the line. You're not going to be able to get behind the guy without him shuffling back and being, clearing that.
38 seconds. Step.
Oh, great shot. Great shot. Hands locked, but Singleton sits out. Oh. Wow, they are going at it. A lot of action here. Two guys, I've been saying it all match. They want to win. No easy positions. A lot of hustle. No one's conceding yet.
Augustine continues to shoot. Singleton defending.
Singleton's got a lower stance a little bit. He's starting to rise up this overtime position period. It's not going to fare well here. Short time. Here he is, back on, knocked on Singleton's back, where Singleton obviously is giving Augustine a feel there where he's holding back for a second. He's thinking, I feel something I don't like. And that's a great ability of Singleton to show his experience and also, defend himself with that. Hey, I can do something from here. Yeah, you're in a dominant position, but I know this position. I can do something. So I would think against a lot of opponents, you see Augustine get his hands locked and run through their body, but Singleton's done a great job of countering that.
Got some blood time here for Singleton. This is going to give both guys an opportunity as they clean up the mat. Both guys an opportunity to talk strategy and also just catch their breath, right? Both got to be, no matter the gas tank, you got to be exhausted at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm sure these guys are tired. Singleton, I think, had some blood there. They're cleaning up. And, you see the coaches rattling some plays in their ear. And I think the Pitt coaches have been pretty happy with what they've seen out of Augustine all match. And he's kind of, that first round of overtime, he hit the gas. He's in on multiple shots. He was close to scoring a handful of times. I would say a little bit better a position than Singleton has. And now we're going to go to the mat where they've both been good, but Singleton might have had a little advantage on the mat.
Not much, but caution, all right? Stay set and wrestle. 30 seconds.
Alternating these 30 seconds here. So Singleton going to try to get out.
Cover.
Singleton to his feet early, fighting hands. Facing him, not to his back, but definitely returned to his belly and his leg split. You see where Augustine's left knee is in between Singleton's legs. His leg split. That's going to be tough for Singleton to get out of here in the next 15 seconds. It's called a Turk. He's working around his shoulders. More than likely he's going to hold him down here. This is a tough position for Singleton's got to think about going to his back too, right? Augustine, this is a pinning combination Augustine's in, and it was good of him to land in that position and hold him down. Didn't have to worry about another mat return to Singleton to his feet. So
now Augustine just has to get out. Singleton going to have to ride him out.
Yes, Singleton's going to have to ride him out again and not give up a stall call, right? He can't drop down to his leg, and ref's going to be on that 5 count. That's a point. So both these guys get a stall warning. And that especially goes for the guy on top. He can't give up any stall calls or locked hands. Augustine to his feet early and kind of both action running to the out of bounds line. It looks like both guys running. One guy's running, the other guy's running. So, I don't think you're going to see the ref call a stall call on that in overtime. And an ankle to a switch. Singleton recover, drop down for a trip. Another mat return effort, out of bounds, but brings him to the mat. Consistent effort. There's only 10 seconds have passed though.
Yeah.
So Augustine is hustling on bottom here.
Singleton looking for a ride out. Augustine just got one.
Crowd getting behind him. The crowd bringing some energy to this. Augustine's been getting to his feet very quick. There's that second stall call, point on the board. Singleton's going to have to cut him, score a takedown.
Or get back points within 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's not happening.
1 green.
So he does, as you say, cut him.
I might have jinxed I said.
Yeah, we saw the late stall.
Out of Singleton, who hasn't hit that knee yet. Hasn't really.
Boy, what a great matchup this was. Augustine gets it done in sudden victory.
Yeah, great work out of Augustine. Gritty match. Did what he needed to do to win. Right, didn't make any errors. Same goes for Singleton. Probably could have took a little bit more risk, right? Could have took a little bit more risk and prevented himself from going out of bounds a few times. Right, those decisions come back. You're gonna lose a little bit of sleep over them. That's how it goes.
Well, the upper weights have not disappointed. Big matchup. Derek Fields and then Luca Augustine wins it in overtime. Fishback and Heller, a rubber match on its way along at 197, where we'll see Max Stout. And we welcome you back to Raleigh, Reynolds Coliseum. NC State with an 18-6 team score. We just saw Luca Augustine win by decision over Maddie Singleton to get a nice win for Pitt. And then this might be the matchup of the night. It's top 15 Reese Heller against Dylan Fishback on his home turf. But these guys matched up last year. It was a 4-3 decision for Heller. They've already met this season as well. Heller won the journeyman title. On his way to doing so, he beat Fishback. So this is a huge matchup. We'd love to see these when you get a rubber match, like you said, when you get another opportunity at a guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Heller's obviously had Fishback's number this year and last year too, I believe you said. So it's a style that Fishback's got to figure out. Heller's a solid wrestler. He's got a little bit of a unique style though, especially on the mat and in some scramble positions. So we'll see what type of adjustments Fishback has made, but Heller's a game wrestler. Again, graduate student, experience, not his first time out here.
3 years at Hofstra, now in his 3rd year at Pitt.
Center.
2 times to the Nationals too. He's an experienced wrestler.
And he's coming in on fire. He's won 8 straight matches. Just, you say he's got a little bit of a different style. He's known for being funky. He's known for being aggressive and putting you in some weird spots.
Yes, putting you in weird spots, and those are the same weird spots that I speak about. It's like, okay, if you're dealing with Fishback, you get to those weird spots. You do what you've worked on with your coaches to clear them and to put you in a position to score, or do you clam up a little bit and just say, oh, I'll just take the stalemate or I'll play it safe? Because you know those weird spots are going to come. Heller's going to put you there, and how do you deal with them when they arise?
A little bit of blood time here for Heller. They're just getting underway.
Heading back to the center here. We got to keep this match going.
Heller 3rd at ACC's a year ago. Fishback finished 2nd on his way to qualifying for NCAAs for the first time.
Fishback's got a higher rank, and some of that results in how you match up with guys. Good timing there on Fishback's part, but Fishback might match up with your common opponents a little bit better than Heller does. But for these two specifically, Heller's got a style that's been difficult for Fishback to figure out so far. Fishback's been the aggressor, kind of moving forward, faking out a couple attacks. Not really full committal, but he's been moving forward. It's something that we don't see out of him all that often. It's kind of on and off when he's moving forward.
What was your mentality when you're going into a matchup against a guy you've seen a couple of times before and you've beaten, but it's been close?
You just got to be ready. You got to be ready. And Fishback's shooting off the whistle, very nice. But you got to be ready, but also, I always realize the positions that I'm good in. And I see that position as must win. And more so against wrestlers that are solid and you've had close matches with. When that position comes, you got to score that. You got to score that. And if it's not your position, then don't give up the points. But maybe you don't score, but maybe it's a stalemate. You got to think of those type of things. If you get your position, you got to take advantage of it.
So just play to your strengths.
Play to your strength, because other wrestlers, they're good too. You can't act like, oh, they don't have the ability to score from you. They very well can. But definitely, I found a way to hit a different gear when it was my position. I'm in this position. Nope, I score here every time. It doesn't matter who you are. I need to score in this position to win the match.
You can never lose sight of the fact, hey, they're pretty good too.
Yeah, you know, and I had plenty of rivals in the ACC where after 3 years in the ACC, you've wrestled these guys 6 times.
Yeah.
Right? And it's tough to beat a good guy 6 times over and over and over and over again. Heller's doing a good job of kind of keep moving Fishback by palming his head, keeping that distance. Fishback wants to get a little bit closer to fire off a shot, but Heller's been doing a good job of tracking him, keeping his hands on him. Nice. Fishback in on this high. See, looking to get to his feet, but you're going to see Heller scramble here. So Heller's a good scrambler. Going to make this difficult for Fishback to figure out which way he wants to go here. This is exactly what I was talking about. Is Fishback going to figure out this and work to score on this, or is he going to clam up and play it safe? Because I'm sure Heller's thinking this is a must-win for me.
Yeah.
I get in scrambles, I must win them. Win or stalemate. So definitely not give up the score. And Heller's not gonna bail on this. He's gonna ride this out because this is his type of position. Great work out of him. Fishback started in a really good position on the high crotch, and Heller was able to break that down a bit.
Short time, guys. Stay in here. Center. Center. Get out of the fingers.
We take a look at the scramble, and this is where Heller excels.
Yeah, Fishback gets in on a really good head outside shot, looking to get to his feet, but then Heller locks in the crotch here, starts getting heavy, controls his ankle, and he makes it difficult. Starts tying him up in different positions, and then Fishback's no longer thinking scoring. It's, you know, stalemate, those type of things, and Heller was able to clear the position.
Set for me, red, green, set.
It's another good position for Heller on the mat here, but good escape by Fishback. Quick, too.
Neutral.
Fishback was a star coming out of Aurora High School in Ohio. Top 5 overall recruit. He has not been able to solve the mystery of Reese Heller, but getting a shot at him in a home duel. See what he's learned from last year and from journeyman.
Yeah, Fishback's got to find a way to get past these hands of Heller, because Heller's doing a good job. Experienced guy, right? You're in the system for 5-6 years. You know where your hands need to be, especially when you've beaten a wrestler twice. You got an idea of where they like to attack, so you got to stay active. But you know, you just can't get too far behind in a hand fight. And Heller again looking for a judo type throw here, but they go out of bounds. But again, odd position, not your position you see in every match. Heller excelled in it again.
Heller also won the 184 title at Midland, so he's been on an absolute tear and trying to make the most of his last year.
Absolutely. Experienced wrestler and knows positions he's good in there, and they're not positions that everyone else has seen as often. A couple non-traditional positions that he's pretty good in.
Fishback, roommates with Trent Hidley. So a good guy to train with, good guy to learn from.
Yeah, Trent is. I was actually saw Trent today. He's doing well. He's got a tournament coming up in Zagreb, Croatia. Fishback's got that underhook. Needs to create more action out of that underhook, whether it's a pull to a snap or a throw by position. We're going to see a stall call. Yeah.
Yeah, the warning given to Heller. He doesn't like it. Comes late here in the second period.
No, didn't like it. Yes, Fishback was pushing, but again, you know, you were on the line. How'd you get to the line? And then you went from the line to the end of the mat. There's a reason for that.
Thank you.
I like that action out of Fishback. You feel pressure from Heller, you pull, you make him step. You're constantly making your opponent move in a direction you want to. So not only they're not ready for it, it's fatiguing, but it starts to get them out of position, starts to get your momentum going. When you're moving on someone else's cadence, you get tired. You start to feel it. You start to make errors. You start to double think things, those type of things.
You see, as of right now, these are the top two guys at
Nice
the
roll
weight.
here by Heller, looking for a reversal.
Two green.
And gets it.
Nice reversal out of Heller. You don't see a ton of reversals in college wrestling. That was good. Now he's on the wow. Nice sequence, very nice sequence by Heller. Very smooth, leg in here. And again, this is a little bit of what he's been, using to have Fishbacks on the last couple of times. Mat wrestling, that legs in. That's an uncomfortable position that creates a lot of tension on the lower back. And here he is under the chin here. Once a guy gets under your chin, under your arms there, and has a leg in, you got to be aware of going to your back, because a lot of guys go to their back from that position, and it's a known pinning combination.
This could be a preview of the ACC Championship. We'll get a look at the reversal.
Yep, great roll here by Heller. Roll, turns in.
Man, that was quick.
Reversal, yeah. You can tell he's practiced it before, I'm sure.
Just a couple of times.
Yeah, very well coordinated. The timing of it.
122,
right?
guys,
If
a lot
he
of
goes
time.
slower, I'm sure Fishback follows, no issue. But the fact that he rolls right to the turn in, puts Fishback on his butt.
Set.
Fishback said he got no option except to turn down. Fishback looking to put his hand on the mat here and fight hands. Heller's starting to build that riding time where Fishback's got to get out here.
It's up to 40 seconds.
We're out.
And they go off. 43 seconds.
Yeah, Fishback's really got 17 seconds that he's going to need to escape here to stay in this match. Because then, you go down.
Stay on the mat, please.
Heller's not an easy guy to get to his legs, right?
Right.
You've been to his legs twice, and you weren't.
Green, when I call you, I get out a little easier, please. Red set,
really
go ahead, Green.
Be critical here. Heller pinching that leg.
10 seconds to get out for Fishback. You see the time.
Action.
And he does take it up over a minute. Big mat return. Fishback able to squirm out of it. But looks at the clock. It's 1:05.
Yeah, Fishback has got to put together something. Heller does have a stall warning.
Right.
So next one's a point. But again, Fishback's got to be game professor. He's got to find a way to come up with a point in 30 seconds. And it's not going to be from holding on to here.
So you have to see aggression and almost force that stall if you can't score.
Yes, Fishback in a good position. You've got to get out, yeah. Yeah, Fishback's got to be ready for the down block rear attack, because Heller can burn a lot of time by just catching him on a shot and holding on to that leg. Right, Fishback's got to be ready for a down block rear attack, some sort of counter, or even get to those legs early, where he goes right off the whistle there.
Heller
with the takedown on the underhook flow by to the body. Great work by him.
First takedown. Got the reversal, and now the takedown to seal it.
Yeah,
and Reese Heller continues to have success against Fishback.
Yeah, if you notice Heller's two big scores, right? That takedown at the end and that reversal. Very quick. That takedown probably happened in less than 2 seconds. That reversal, 2 seconds, right? He's not spending 5, 10, 15 seconds in on a leg, in building to his feet, none of that stuff. He scores very quick, and when guys get to scoring positions on him, he makes it very hard and it extends the time of it, right? If you let a guy in on your leg and they score very quick, okay, they didn't have to burn a lot of energy. But if you make them get your leg and they're in there 15, 20 seconds and they don't score, that's tough on the mentality.
197, Max Stouts and Christian Knopp. So we saw NC State win 5 of the first 6 bouts, but Pitt with Augustine and Heller trying to roar back here, down 18-9. Max Stout, an NCAA qualifier at this weight. Lost big to Trent Hidley last year in a tech fall, looking for some revenge. He'll see Christian Knopp, a redshirt senior from Alabama. Max Stout has won 12 straight matches. That leads the team coming into tonight. So he is in form and looking to continue the momentum for Pitt, whereas Knopp is looking for what would be a marquee win for him if he can pull it off.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Stout's a solid wrestler. You're going to see him in his stance. He's got good position, stays within his box, knows his path to victory.
Okay, guys, here we go. Big hands, gentlemen. Good luck. Set.
If you watched our first first six bouts, you say, hey, this was more one-sided. I thought this was going to be closer. Here comes the Panthers.
Yeah, and you look at the stat sheet, the last 4 guys, multiple-time national qualifiers. So, you know, on paper they're favored, and they're showing it these last 2 matches, and even coming into this 3rd match. So, Knopp's a 5th-year guy. Not a lot of people have seen him though, right? Because he's been behind Hidley and whatnot. So not a ton of people have seen him compete, but he's a game wrestler.
And only in the lineup for 3 duels last year.
Good takedown early from Knopp on that re-attack. Great work by him.
That'll boost the confidence.
Yep. Stout took a swipe at his leg, and Knopp legs back, pressure right back in. Put Stout on his hips and scored that. In the limited time he was in the lineup, hey, he won all 3 of those duels he was in by tech fall. Yeah, Knopp back here in the center of the mat. Good, and that's where Knopp's got to keep this momentum going, right? Can't sit back and let Stout kind of regather himself. You got to keep your momentum going, right? Especially when you're an underdog here. Knopp is 2-0 in the ACC so far, but NC State started with the 2 programs that are not ranked in Duke and Virginia, and the challenge bigger and bigger down the stretch as they see all the other ranked programs, 5 of them in the ACC, including NC State. They close with the other 4. Yeah, definitely kind of hammer in that second part of the year, and even a new opponent in Stanford. That brings an interesting flair to the conference, because not just out west, but you know, you see out west wrestlers, even though Stanford recruits nationally, you got an elite academic institution that's hard to get into, but you're going to see really good wrestlers. They have a great tradition there, and good coaching, and one of the all-time greats in Hayden Hidley coaching out there too. That brings obviously his experience at NC State out west. So it'll be an interesting duel in a couple weeks when they come east. A lot has been made of the travel. Stanford comes here. Yeah, as a good attack here by Stout, getting to the body, but now Knopp is not making it easy, right? Keeping heavy pressure, called a whizzer on that left shoulder of Stout, and he's looking to keep cranking that down. But Stout's doing what he needs to, shelfing that leg, bringing it up. But Knopp's a good athlete here. Again, experienced, facing it, whizzer hard. Knopp's gonna look to keep bringing Stout to the mat every chance he can here. Great job by Knopp and Stout too, really. Stout's doing what he needs to. Knopp's just a step ahead here. But and a late takedown. Looks like he rolled his ankle. Reaching for that left ankle. Not good. Now, Stout kind of tripped him backwards, and I think he tweaked his ankle somehow. Yeah, like you were saying about, as you can see here, kind of pivots over that foot ankle area. And you saw the immediate reaction from Knopp. Yeah, tough position when all your weight's on that one foot, and it kind of, the rubber of the shoe is pretty sticky, and you kind of stick in the mat and rotate over it. But as you were saying earlier about the Stanford in the conference, right? It's a great addition. Look at does it make sense? You know, the college athletics conference-wise, it doesn't make a ton of sense, to be honest. No. But it's a great addition. A lot of travel for both sides of the conference. Well, but you competed internationally, right? You've taken some long flight and then gotten straight to business. So you get a look at Hayden doing a great job out there in Palo Alto. Had a chance to, how lucky am I, right? Working with you here tonight. I had a chance to call some matchups with Hayden, who did a great job on the mic, and given his it looks like Knox going to stay in. Great to see. Yeah. But when you take a long flight and you're getting ready to, buckle up and compete at a high level, how are you able to handle that? Yeah, normally when I compete internationally, I'm there for a week. Right? If I'm wrestling on a Saturday, I'm arriving on a Monday. Yeah. Time to acclimate. And that, those are different time zones, even though Stanford's coming 3 hours east. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to be difficult for not just travel on the bodies of the athletes that are, cut weight and shape, but also they got a lot of schoolwork too. That is travel time on both sides of it. So, but no, I'm excited as a fan. The plane has Wi-Fi. Yeah, most of them do nowadays. 4 hours in a middle seat. Good luck. That's okay for the 125s. Yeah, as a heavyweight, I would not enjoy that much, but great to see Knopp
I don't know how great that left ankle's feeling right now, but he's hanging in there.
You're going to have some adrenaline pumping because he's still very much in this match, right?
One green.
Still very much in this match.
Neutral.
Rode him out to end the period and only down 2. He's got 30 seconds of riding time. He's got to keep moving. Got to keep moving.
Guys, please stay out of the fingers.
If you watch how when they tie up there, Stout's left hand is on the inside and Knopp is hanging over the top with his right arm. That's something he's going to want to make an adjustment because you keep leaving a guy settling on the inside. It's just not a great habit to get in consistently time after time after time after time. Guys start getting on your head and they start setting up their own shots. So
it was a quick takedown by Knopp in the first period. It's been all Stout since.
Action, guys, action.
Yeah, but obviously after that first takedown too by Knopp, you know, Stout's got to think twice about his attack, right?
Sure.
He was countered quick. So it's not just all attacks. He's got to think about that. And he's in deep again, same position where we saw previously. Getting that leg high, trip.
Green.
Puts his hands on the mat, gives up the takedown.
We talked about Fishback working out with Trent Hidley.
One red.
And, you know, for Stout, when he first came in as a freshman, it's like, hey, here's Nino Bonacorsi. Why don't you be in the room with him every day? And that's got to make you so much better.
Yeah, when you wrestle really good guys every day and you're a competitor and you're not backing down, you figure it out. You know, it begins an inch, then a couple inches, then a foot. You know, you gain distance. And that's what these guys have the ability to do, especially, you know, being in a room with a national champion like Nino Bonacorsi or being in a room with a guy like Trent Hidley. You got to grab a hold of them. They may kick your butt the first few times, but you'll figure it out. You'll start to hang in there.
Get the mentors. He's got a couple older brothers too. Luke was an NCAA qualifier at Princeton. Kellen, an NCAA qualifier as well. So that helps when you're a little bro trying to keep up with big bros.
Yeah.
And Max Stout, you know, ranked 11th and again on a roll right now. 12 straight matches and looking to have a strong third period and make it a Baker's dozen.
Green cover.
Yeah, no, Stout's got a good family in Pennsylvania wrestling, and they're well recognized amongst the NCAAs as tough wrestlers.
Just a hair early, Green. Just a hair early.
Gets caution here.
Hang on. Okay, go ahead, Green.
Knopp says when he's done wrestling, he might want to get into coaching one day
guys,
like you did. Coach him up here in the third period. What does he need to do?
Nice mat return. He needs to score points. No, but Stout's doing a good job. Looking for these back points here. Puts him on his back. You see the Pitt team get off their feet.
He's close here.
Yeah, he's very close here, especially how he's going to get this now that he's got that arm trap. That's a tough position for Knopp to get out of.
He's got plenty of time to finish it.
Yeah, a lot of time. They're in a pretty good position on the mat, and you see how Stout's got that one arm isolated. He's probably going to come off that leg and cover that head and puts himself in a pretty good position to score the fall. It looks like Knopp's going to get out there. Nice.
Stout with 7 bonus point wins this year. He was that close to a fall.
And when you look at it, it's only 9 points. If Pitt does get a fall here, you know, we still got a dual meet.
Yeah.
Right? That's a 3-point match at heavyweight. Maybe a major decision or a tech fall here. Make it interesting at heavyweight for the fans.
Again, that's what Pitt did in 2019. They came roaring back with 4 straight at the end to take it 18-16. Same situation. NC State won 5 of the first 6.
Go ahead, Red. Green, we got 1 caution.
Yeah, and Stout's feeling it, right?
Red is set. Go ahead, Green.
Knopp hurt his ankle. He put him to his back ready. He scored a few takedowns.
Yep.
It's no longer thinking win this match. It's let me bonus.
Yeah, by how much?
Yes, he's got the major decision on the board now. He's got 40 seconds. He's got to look for something to put him to his back. And you can see a conservative Knopp here on bottom, right? He was already put to his back once. But you know, you don't obviously want to go again, but you got to try to find a way to win the match. Stout's riding tough. He's probably going to give one more attempt to put him to his back. I would think.
Keep that safe.
Takes a peek, sees 15 seconds left.
Short, real short.
Not going to get the late back points, but he does get the major decision and win number 13 in a row for Max Stout.
Yeah, keeping great momentum going on. Gave up a takedown early, but it was all him from then on out, which is a sign of solid wrestlers, right? Good wrestlers can give up an early takedown, gather themselves, not lose their confidence, and get back out there.
It's 3 straight wins for Pitt. 13 in a row for Stout. The upper weights showing up big for the Panthers. We've got one more heavyweight up next. It's a top 15 matchup. Isaac Trumbull, Dayton Pitzer on its way in a minute. One match left here in Raleigh with the 2-time national champ Nick Gwiazdowski. I'm Andrew Sanders, and a look at the first 5. Hey, NC State in control. And really won 5 of the first 6. At one point, we're up 18-3. Now it's 18-13, and the potential exists for Dayton Pitzer to help Pitt to a come-from-behind win. If he's going to do it, though, he's going to have to go through a top 5 ranked wrestler in Isaac Trumbull, who has been a thorn in the side of Pitt ever since he was a freshman and upset Nino Bonacorsi in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Isaac's been a good wrestler from the start. He's been getting better up at probably a more natural weight class for his build up at heavyweight. But Pitzer's a good wrestler, offensive wrestler. Good athlete. You can see him moving a lot. Was having a good year last year, but you know, unfortunately had a shoulder surgery, I believe, right?
Separated his shoulder. Yeah, missed 6 weeks. Was an NCAA qualifier. Finished third at ACC's is Trumbull.
Got to get his hands locked. Drive up on his feet here. Good clear by Pitzer, though.
Coach Gavin told me a couple years ago when Pitzer was a freshman, talking about being great right away, that they were determined, hey, are we going to pull his red shirt or not? Because he's a guy that can compete for a national championship right now. That was a couple of years ago. As you said, though, he's battled health injuries, but he is healthy and wrestling very well. 8-1 on the year.
These are both a little bit smaller heavyweights, but they're long, good athletes. You're not going to see much standing around. Both are attacks already on both sides. So.
How could a small heavyweight have some success, right? You were known to be on a little bit of the lighter side, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but you stay active, right? Yeah. You keep moving your opponent, you moving yourself, and when you get to your positions, you got to be strong, right? These guys might be smaller, but they're strong. I guarantee, you know, at least from my experience, Isaac gets his hands locked. It's a lot of pull power, and that says a lot to Pitzer getting his leg back too, right? You know, so.
Trumbull talking about adding weight, and he said the focus has just been good, clean diet, adding good muscle, not just adding weight for weight's sake and adding fat.
Yeah, and a lot of food, a lot of good food.
He was also famous in that cut to 197. He would go on these long runs.
Yeah.
And he has changed that to short sprints at this
Trumbull
point.
Here looking to really take advantage of himself in this front headlock here. Working this. Gonna look to sprawl his leg back here. Good work by both these guys. Trumbull might be in a little bit of a...
Out, you said? Out. You said. Out.
They didn't look out from here.
Wow.
NC State coaching staff did not like that. They had a better look at it than we did.
Yeah, I actually don't know what view that ref had, because it's actually okay. All right, yeah, I guess he just called it late. They were out of bounds. Trumbull here looking to bring Pitzer underneath him here, pulling on that front headlock. It's never enjoyable to get your head pulled under by a guy that weighs 240 pounds. It's not really enjoyable. But again, you know, you're in this business for a reason. Good attack by Pitzer. Trumbull.
Danger,
Right to shoots his high crotch right to the crackdown. Late in the first period here with his leg in. Trumbull put both legs in. That's a lot of pressure on Pitzer's back.
He's been working on attacks, he said, specifically that work at heavyweight. Has to be a little more careful than he was at 197. In his words, he said, I can't get underneath guys like I used to. I can't get smushed.
No, you can't get smushed, but again, you take your momentum, you keep moving. Let's rewatch this here. You're going to watch Trumbull fire off his attack, but keep his momentum going. Put Pitzer to his butt here, steps over.
Red chooses bottom.
Covers both his legs. Good takedown. End of the period again. Scoring at the end of the period.
Period.
Important stuff. impactful in the match, right? Now Pitzer is in a position where he really needs to score takedowns somewhere in this match.
Trumbull showing off the offensive tools. Again, one of two wrestlers. We saw Robinson put on a show both during the match and after with the backflips earlier at 125.
Pitzer looking for a cradle early, but now that Isaac's got his arm out, Pitzer's in a tough position to finish this. But Trumbull's got to be ready to brace there and not go to his own back.
He does get the. Oh,
you got two there.
Spoke too soon. That was dangerous, huh?
Yeah, that was a great setup by Pitzer. But again, Trumbull was able to clear out of that, and now he's back on his feet. Good, Trumbull keeping good pressure here.
Back and green.
Back and Pitzer out of bounds, and that's where that size makes a difference. Is yes, I can push a heavyweight around for 3 minutes, but you're doing it for 5, 6, 7. Not just push, but hold your ground. Push and hold your ground, because that's another large body leaning into you for 7 minutes. You got to be able to hold your ground. Great work by Trumbull, bringing him onto the mat, pulling him underneath him. Looking for great work. Got to keep his feet on the mat here. Don't want to be caught jumping, because then you take all your weight off the mat and onto your opponent here. Looks like we might have close to a danger call. Trumbull building his lead to 7-0. So far, we've seen him score from a defensive position where Pitzer was on his leg, and also a leg attack here. So a little bit of, for the diehard wrestling fans, a little bit of diversity in scoring. Trumbull's eager to get both those legs in, but Pitzer's seems to be fighting them out pretty well. It's never great when you got both your legs in an opponent's butts raising up, but Trumbull seems to be pretty strong here, where he's flattening his opponent out.
Isaac Trumbull's been dominant so far. I think you don't always start at 125, but as a heavyweight, you have to relish this opportunity, right? Being the last guy, the anchor, to close out a duel that's still in the balance.
Absolutely. I would kind of look at myself like a Mariano Rivera type, right? Yeah. Tight duel. I know Pat well. Right? You see he's nervous, right? You're like, brother, I'm good. I'm good. Let me go. I'm ready to go. I've seen my opponents before. I know what I'm capable of doing, and you got a couple thousand people here in Reynolds excited to watch you, sticking around. They might know the dual meet's wrapped up, but they want to stick around and watch the big man go at it. So good work by Pitzer here, getting to his feet, fighting for a lock, and big mat return out of Trumbull. Not the easiest to do in the 6th minute. Legs in, flatten Pitzer out. Looking for some type of pinning combination, but again, Pitzer's got Trumbull's leg, which is good work on Pitzer's part.
Getting a little high here?
A little high. He needs to scoot back a little bit and get his arms, kind of wiggle himself back to kind of reposition him. It's always tough to turn a guy with 2 legs in, because when you think of the 2 legs, you're kind of planted right behind them. But now it looks like Trumbull's got 1 leg out, so we might actually see a turning attempt happen here.
I thought he might have been too high, but he's tall. He was really tall for 197. Really used that length to his advantage. And he gets hit with a stall. Does Pitzer. That puts it to major territory. And ride time is all but locked up here. And now it is.
Yeah, Trumbull's got a slight size advantage, it looks like. I don't see the weigh-in sheets, but Trumbull's imposing his will now, right? A couple big mat returns, a couple scores, and he's, you see it. He's keeping Pitzer's face and chest on the mat. That's a tough position to recover from, and now you're building your lead 8-0 over the 13th ranked wrestler.
Trumbull, who won gold at the U23 World Championships in 23. Brought it back to NC State, first ever.
Good transition with Trumbull to get both his legs out. Now he's just got 1 leg out. And Pitzer reaching back, almost planting Trumbull on his back there, really threatening late in the match.
Got to go for something late.
And another stall call, and Pitzer just backing out of bounds. And awareness on Trumbull's point to save the major decision, right? But again, those are habits that are created throughout the year.
Boy, Isaac Trumbull wrestling in front of his home crowd. He seals out the dual meet. The dominant performance over one of the nation's best in Dayton Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exciting, a great dual meet tonight. Pittsburgh brought it from the upper weights in and made the match interesting late, but overall a great dual meet and keeping this ACC momentum going.
Make it 6 straight for NC State over Pittsburgh as they stay unbeaten in ACC competition. Now 3-0 in conference action. What a great night for wrestling here on Friday night duels. NC State won 5 of the first 6 and closed it out with an exclamation point from Isaac Trumbull. For a great crew here in Raleigh, my partner Nick Wisdowski, I'm Andrew Sanders saying good night. NC State stays unbeaten in the ACC. This has been a presentation of ESPN.